Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 5 in season number 5 of the NOFSRL Haas IndyCar Series. It's the 2019 season, and we're back at the Richmond Raceway for the Virginia 65K. Only 54 laps of action here today, around this 3/4 of a mile speedway in Richmond, Virginia, and we will not have any pit stops in this race. Past couple times we've run this thing, the pit stops have affected the race tremendously because a caution came out right when the green flag set was going on. We want to avoid that at all costs, so no pit stops in tonight's race. With it only being 54 laps, there's no need to have pit stops in such a short race. I'm alongside Carter Friesen. Since it is such a short race, what do you got to do if you're starting outside the top 10 to get up front here today at Richmond?
Well, first of all, it's a short track, so you're going to have to really try and get up front shot to win this thing. Well, that's kind of the point of winning, is you have to be up front. If you're starting outside the top 10, you're really going to have to work your way up. Beyond the top 10, they're really going to have some work to do. I have to hope for a caution. Maybe at some point in this race, take a few cars out of the race, but we're going to have to see how this is going to play out.
It's definitely going to be interesting. We will see some passing in this race. These guys have a lot of grip, so they're able to make passes a little bit better than you might expect on a short track. So it's going to be a pretty darn good race here tonight at Richmond for the 5th race of the season. This is how they line up in the points standings. And you thought Mark Davidson was doing good in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. You haven't heard of a guy named Justin Zajdel here in the IndyCar Series. 159 points after only 4 races. He's averaging almost 40 points a race. And mind to tell you, that's how many points you get if you finish second. And mind to tell you, Justin Zajdel has finished second 3 times, with last time being a 3rd place finish. All 4 races this season for Justin Zajdel, he has finished in the top 5. He's looking to keep that streak alive here tonight. But he's got a 62-point lead on second place. Nobody can surpass him for the championship lead, and we're only on the 5th race of the season. That's how good he's been doing. It's Nathan Faden and Igor Barretto both tied for second, both 62 behind. Richard Kinghart, the last winner from 2 weeks ago, Riverside, is 64 points behind, and the Daytona winner, Davey Johnson, is 68 points behind coming into this event here tonight. On the pole, it's the number 14 of Jordan Lopez. He's alongside our last winner here in the IndyCar Series, Richard Kinghart, in the number 13, who is able to get those pit stops to work and make the pass in the Riverside race to get his first win of the season. Row number 2 sees Dion Moon. He is looking for a very good run in this series. He is last in the points with only 21 championship points. Compare that to Justin Zajdel's 159. He is really deep in the points coming into this thing. Jeremiah Earls is alongside him. Then we got the number 18 of Christopher Altheby, won at Auto Club. The 7 machine of Audra Baranowskis. Thomas Troxel, Al Legacy, Micah Knapp, and the 59 of Jose Mills. That's the top 10 starting positions in this thing. Saw where Justin Zajdel started, kind of midway through the field. We'll follow with him throughout the night. Green flag in the air in the Virginia 65K at Richmond. Lap 1 and a bonus point to Jordan Lopez here at Richmond. Dion Moon trying to get to the inside of him, couldn't quite do it, but you see how fast these guys go compared to the Cup guys. Of course, you saw qualifying less than an hour ago, and these guys go much faster than what we're going to see tomorrow night in the Norfolk Southern 400, but Jordan Lopez holding on to the race lead. He's going to lead lap number 2 here at Richmond.
Well, these Indy cars here, they definitely have a lot more speed than pretty much any other car you'd see, even truck. Here you'd see that Napa Fan, definitely a lot faster. So, and they have more grip. Yeah, they're doing a nice job right now.
Dion Moon trying to work that inside of Jordan Lopez. The leader tends to run up high here at Richmond, so where we usually see a lot of the passes here. And of course, this is actually a different version of Richmond than what we're going to be using tomorrow night. This is the open wheel version of the Richmond International Raceway, hence why these guys are able to run as fast as they are. Tomorrow we're going to be using the 2007 version of the Richmond International Raceway for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series for 5th. The number 6 machine of Christian Vargas to the inside of his teammate, Micah Knapp. That is for 5th. Jeremiah Earl's moving his way back to the field. He's going to go to the inside of Micah Knapp and take the 6th position away. And Dion Moon's coming close on Jordan Lopez here on lap 6 of 54.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job here, being able to run down the 14 right now. He stayed with him since the start of the race. Of course, the 13 has fallen back a little bit of Richard Kinghart. He's fallen back to that's 5th or 6th,
right
I'd
there.
say.
He's going to get the inside of Christian Vargas now. And he's right behind Thomas Troxel now in the 5th position. Great run for Richard Kinghart. He's one of these guys who, if he can close in enough on Justin Zajdel, he could be a championship contender by the time we hit Pocono in August. But still a long ways left to go. We're going to check in on Justin Zajdel here at Richmond, and that is not at all what we're used to seeing out of this number 10. He is currently 22nd. And he started the season off with 3 consecutive second-place finishes, got a 3rd at Riverside 2 weeks ago, but he did not do well in qualifying, and he's now struggling here at Richmond, 23rd. But the thing is, he still will remain the points leader at the end of this race no matter what happens, because the maximum amount of points one driver can get in a race is 53, and he's got a 62-point lead on Nathan Faden and Igor Barreto. How about Richard Kinghart moving himself back up to the 4th position, and Dion Moon's going to get the run for the lead. The last guy in points going for it here at Richmond to the inside of Jordan Lopez. He's got it on lap 11.
I wasn't so sure if he was going to be able to get it there, though, because you know, we saw that leader that gets a good run on the outside there, but clearly only when he's by himself. In fact, he's going to go back 4th right here, it looks like.
Yeah, not at all with Jordan Lopez winning after starting on the pole here tonight at Richmond. He led the first 10 laps of the event, then fell to 4th, just like that. Richard Kinghart, the big mover right now. Of course, he did start on the outside pole, but he fell back initially. He's clawed his way back up to the 3rd position right here. Christopher Alphaby looking to get his 2nd win of the season. He got the win at Auto Club about a month ago. And now he is going to the inside of Dion Moon for the race lead. See if he gets the run entering turn 1, and he will.
Does end up getting this win tonight. I believe he'd be our first 2-time winner this season.
I literally just said that 20 seconds ago.
Okay, fine. Well, I didn't hear that, so...
Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. Richard Kinghart to 2nd. He's going to get the inside of Dion Moon, and Jordan Lopez going to move his way back up into 3rd. It seems quite obvious that you don't want to be stuck in the outside lane if you got somebody to the inside of you, and looks like Kinghart might have a run to the inside of Alphaby. The leaders keep on overshooting turn number 4. That's what's giving these guys in 2nd the shot at the race lead.
Yeah, really opening up the door there when they get to 3 and 4. Not so much in 1 and 2, so 3 and 4 is where we're going to have to gain, but he stayed there sort of on the bottom, be able to help the 13 get a run for the lead.
Number 18 of Christopher Alphaby still out front, though, but Kinghart is closing in fast. We've seen him move up through the field very well. Some other guys up front, Thomas Troxel currently running in the 5th position. Davey Johnson is 6th. Great run for him after he won the first race of the season a couple months ago. Christian Vargas is running 7th. We got a battle right here between Micah Knapp and Noah Clifton. Knapp's going to take 8th away from the 27, and Jeremiah Earls for 10th on Al Lagasse, who has won a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race here at Richmond that came back 2 years ago in Season 6 of the Cup Series. But looking like we might get a clean race here, and it looks like we just had a pass for the lead. How about that? We go check on something else, and we get a new leader, Richard Kinghart. Looking to go 2 in a row here in the Haas IndyCar Series. He takes the lead away. And we're only 20 laps into this thing. We've already had 4 different leaders in this race. Who do you think's going to pull it off here when we get to the finish in about 35 laps?
Well, you can't make your picks too soon. Not really sure who's going to get it yet. We're going to have to see how the rest of this race is going to play out, because I know that if I make a pick early on, it's definitely going to be wrong, and I don't really want to jinx anyone. So.
All right, fair enough. Of course, you're not the one making.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not me making the pick, so you're probably a little bit safer to make a pick and not jinx. But either way, the top 4, all 4 of these guys have led laps at some point throughout this race. First guy who has not led a lap in this thing has been Thomas Troxel. He's been running pretty strong there in the 5th position. And Justin Zajdel is last. Talk about some irony right there. A 62-point lead coming into this race, and he's right now running in the last position. If he finishes there, it's only 1 point towards the championship. This is exactly what, especially Richard Kingart wants, because Kingart's only 64 behind. Of course, he doesn't have to really worry about Nathan Faden or Igor Barretto in the points right now, because they're farther back in the race, so Kingart could really close in on that points lead heading in the Lime Rock 2 weeks from now if he gets this win. But Christopher Alpeby has another idea in mind. He wants to get his second win of the season. He's going to take the lead away on lap 24. Not even halfway through. We already had 4 lead changes here at Richmond. Quite a bit for a short track, don't you think?
Well, yeah. This racing's been great so far. I'm honestly surprised we haven't had a caution so far. Usually it seems that Richmond here will have a caution kind of early on, and then we'll go for a green flag run. But
well, surprisingly,
the IndyCar drivers here.
Surprisingly, in the IndyCar Series, the only times we've had cautions here is right off of green flag pit stops. They're merging back on the racetrack and they get into each other. We have not had any other type of accident in the IndyCar Series at Richmond before, which is a pretty good sign if these guys want to have a caution-free race. We've only had 2 caution races, being Phoenix and Auto Club. Of course, the other 2 were road courses, but we've had a lot of races in general with the Rockstar Pro Series and the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Going caution-free, and it's looking like this one might go caution-free as well. We're going to be halfway right here. Christopher Alpeby leads the field here. Halfway through the Virginia 65K at Richmond. A great run for him so far, looking to grab his second win of the season. Kingart and Alpeby both going for their second wins of the season, while Dion Moon is trying to get himself out of the hole he's been put in as he comes into this race with only 21 points towards the championship. You think Dion Moon's going to have a good shot at this one?
Well, like I said before, I'm not really sure. Also, on the last lap there, looks like maybe the 6 might have gotten into the wall. I saw him go 2. Might have hit the wall, but I'm not really sure. So, Christian Vargas might have had a problem.
Christian Vargas in the 6. Kingart retakes the lead away from Alpeby, and there's a little bit of a gap there from Jeremiah Earls back to Christian Vargas, and you see the differential almost a second between those guys.
Caution.
And the yellow is out, and a wreck down the backstretch, and Justin Zajdel, our points leader, heavily involved in the number 10. Looks like he got into it with, I think it was the 19 machine of Igor Barretto. Theoretically, the top 2 in points getting involved in this accident. And Justin Zajdel's streak of top 5s is going to end here tonight after this wreck midway through the Virginia 65K. It's a heartbreaker for our points leader. He's probably going to finish in last. And the championship battle is back open here in the Haas IndyCar Series.
Yeah. Well, I think I saw someone blow up there off turn 2. And then someone might have been the 19 that blew up. And then nowhere for Zajdel to go, ran right into it. But not really sure. We're going to have to take a look at a replay.
And we'll do just that right now, since there aren't any pit stops in this race. Opportunity for these guys to catch a break, catch a breather. As we replay the accident between Justin Zajdel and Igor Barretto on lap 30 here at Richmond. Well, Igor Barretto had a huge issue here in the number 19. His engine expiring right there. Speed it up to the point of where Justin Zajdel runs into him. All these guys are trying to avoid him. Noah Clifton's going to lose a lot of positions. But you're going to see right here, Justin Zajdel, I believe he might be on the outside lane exiting turn number 2. Oh boy, it was the 26, Angel Olvera, who got into him. And then Barretto was sideways on the racetrack, and you're going to see all these guys scramble to get around the 19. Unfortunately, Justin Zajdel is unable to avoid any of this as he runs right into him. And then, bam, he's going to lose a wheel right there. Getting into the 88 of Colton Yo. Yo's in the inside wall hard. And Justin Zajdel with only 3 wheels at the end of this one. What a tough day for our points leader, Justin Zajdel. And Igor Barretto, guy who was tied second in the points coming into this race.
As here they are off turn 4, the 19 just blows an engine. So obviously some sort of mechanical issue there. Oh, actually made some contact with the black car there. Couldn't tell who that was. Right here as they come out of turn 4, contact right there. Spinning down the racetrack. Zajdel aimed right for the 19, it looked like. So
you probably couldn't see him.
there.
It's a Tough break for Justin Zajdel. And Igor Barreto, both of those guys going to be out of the race. I think Zajdel will end up finishing 29th. And Barreto 30th, because I think Barreto went to the garage before Zajdel did, so that's all she wrote there for that one. We're going to have ourselves a very interesting race here at Richmond. Richard Kinghart leads the field in the number 13, trying to win 2 in a row. But Dion Moon trying to get his first career Napa fan win here tonight at Richmond. We'll see who gets it done here in the Virginia 65K. We're back here at the Richmond Raceway for the Virginia 65K in the 2019 NOFSRL Haas IndyCar Series. Race number 5 of the season, and Richard Kinghart won race 4 2 weeks ago on the other side of the country. We'll see if he gets it done here tonight for his second straight win. It's Kinghart, Dion Moon, Christopher Alphabee, Jordan Lopez, and Thomas Troxel, the top 5. They've been the top 5 the majority of this race, but they've been in many different positions as this race has gone along. And we got ourselves 20 laps to go, and Dion Moon wasting no time getting to the inside of Richard Kinghart for the race lead.
That was a great run he got there off turn 2.
Unable to make it stick on the inside. We'll have to see if he can get a run this time by. Kinghart going wide, and Dion Moon is still there. They're not going to pull away from each other here at Richmond. They're going to stay right with each other. The drag's really high on these cars here tonight. And it's far from over here at Richmond in the Virginia 65K for Richard Kinghart.
We're going to have to see if any of these other guys are going to end up having some sort of mechanical issue.
It is possible.
Race restart, but yeah, it's possible. Definitely possible. But
Thomas Troxel,
as of right now, it doesn't look like that'll happen.
He's got around Jordan Lopez. He's now in the 4th position. He's going to get to the inside of Christopher Alphabee for 3rd. Watch out for Thomas Troxel. He might have a shot at this race victory. It's still Richard Kinghart out front. Dion Moon still holding on the 2nd. We'll have to see if Moon gets a run anytime soon. Right now, they're staying in their respective positions. Troxel back to the inside, trying to get the run on the 18.
He's got a good run here. I'm not able to get there, though. He had a good run there down the
runs
backstretch.
5th, and it's Davey Johnson, Jeremiah Earls, Christian Vargas, the number 20 of Al Lagasse, getting passed by the 29 of Nick Smith. And that is the top 10 right now, with Al Lagasse in the 10th position here at Richmond. Dion Moon might have something here on Richard Kinghart. Got a good run to the inside. He's pulling away from Christopher Alphabee for the 2nd position. We'll have to see if he has anything on the number 13. Thomas Troxel might finally get it on the 18 here. He's got the inside on Alphabee. And for the race lead, Dion Moon on Richard Kinghart. Moon's going to take it away on lap 42 of 54.
And we got 13 to go, so it's go time now, and Moon went for it, and he got it, so...
He did, but he's got to be careful not to lose it again, because there's still plenty of time for Kinghart, and even Thomas Troxel. Watch out for Troxel here on the number 17. He's going to have a great shot at closing in on these guys for the race lead, especially if they continue to battle for the race lead. He's pulled away from Alphabee. We'll have to see if he closes in anymore on Richard Kinghart. He definitely is in that number 17. He's got a fast race car there. But Dion Moon, last in the points coming into this race. Kind of ironic because Justin Zajdel, who's first in the points, is going to end up finishing deep in the field, almost in last place. Well, Dion Moon, who's last in the points, is doing a great job with a shot at his first ever Napa fan win here tonight. 10 laps to go in the Virginia 65K for Dion Moon. Richard Kinghart, Thomas Troxel, Christopher Alphabee, and pole sitter Jordan Lopez under fire from Jeremiah Earls. Alphabee's closed back in on Troxel, and they're all on each other for the race lead here with 9 laps to go at Richmond.
All Moon has to do is do everything he can to defend the race lead, and he's going to get it. But these guys behind him are definitely going to be... They've been all night trying to get that win.
Thomas Troxel is the only guy in this top 4 who is yet to lead a lap. He wants to see Kinghart get to the inside of Moon, so he has a shot at the race lead. But Dion Moon doing a great job holding on to this race victory. It's a huge moment for him. The opportunity is finally here. Remember at Daytona, he started on the pole there. Had a great run, but blew an engine midway through the race, finished deep in the field. That's where the struggle started for this 22 team. Well, now, the opportunity is right there. With only a few laps left, he might get it done here tonight at Richmond. It's still Kinghart's chance. Still Thomas Troxel has a chance. And Christopher Alphabet. Slim chance for him as well. I don't think anybody else is going to have a shot. Alphabet trying to get back on Thomas Troxel.
If there's two drivers that want this win the most, it's going to be Dion Moon in that 22. Kinghart in that 13. Kinghart looking to go back-to-back wins here in the Haas IndyCar Series. And Moon currently way down in points, I believe, last place. Are we catching a lap car here?
We are. That's Angel Olvera in the 26. If you remember, he was involved in that accident we had about 20 laps ago, and he might get in the way of our race leaders. This is going to get interesting here as we have 4 laps to go. It's going to fly by really quickly, but Kinghart is still right there on the 22. We'll have to see if he can find a way around him. Dion Moon's going to get held up here just a little bit, but he's got the inside on Olvera. He'll clear him, and Dion Moon looks pretty safe to go, but Kinghart's going to get around him very easily as well. And hats off to Angel Olvera getting out of the way of our race leaders, keeping them close together here. It's going to be 2 laps to go next time. Troxel trying to get on Kinghart. Can't quite get there. And Kinghart now has a run on Dion Moon. It's 2 laps to go for the 22.
I was going to say, that's going to give him a run. No, he didn't look to the inside there in turn 1.
Alphabet on Troxel. That is for the 3rd position. It's going to be the white flag next time by for Dion Moon in the number 22. 1 to go in the Virginia 65K. He pulled away enough, he might get it here.
Not as if he gets a huge run, but I don't see that happening. Looks like it's going to be the 22's race. He's going to have a clean corner here.
He's got it. Dion Moon in the 22. First career Napa fan win here tonight in the Virginia 65K at Richmond.
Good job, boys. Well-deserved.
And definitely a well-deserved win for the rookie driver. He is going to, I think, no, he gets double the points he already has now. He's going to triple the amount of points he had already had coming into this race. Gotta do my math in my head there. He's going to leave this race with at least 72 total points. And he came into this thing with 21 points. That is how you get yourself out of last place. So you win the race. And Dion Moon just got his first win on Napa Fan here tonight, holding off Richard Kinghart. Nonetheless, Richard Kinghart is going to move his way right into position to take the points lead away at Lime Rock 2 weeks from now from Justin Zajdel, because he finished 2nd and Zajdel finished 29th. And while they were 64 points off each other, that's a pretty big gap right there. That's probably going to be about 40 points, so it's going to be about 24 between Zajdel and Kinghart for the points lead. But Zajdel will still hold the points lead. He, along with Igor Barreto, knocked out in that accident earlier on. Angel Olvera a lap down in the 26th, as he was also involved in the accident but was able to stay on the racetrack. But either way, Dion Moon, the star here tonight at Richmond on this Thursday evening, he is going to get his first career Napa Fan win and 51 points towards the championship. I don't think he led the most laps. I think that might have been Kinghart. We'll have to see how that all goes down in the points standings coming up in just a couple of minutes. But final thoughts on this race, definitely an interesting one. And what are you expecting tomorrow in the Cup race?
I don't know. I feel like it's just going to be as exciting as tonight's race was. I had a lot of fun with this one, so we're gonna have to see what's going to happen.
We are. That race is going to be tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern right here on Napa Fan. Norfolk Southern 400 right here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But talking about the Haas IndyCar Series here, and it's Dion Moon in victory lane for the first time in his career. Could be the first of many here on this channel. Congratulations to Dion Moon for his race victory. I mentioned it a couple times. Next race going to be the Grand Prix of Lime Rock. We're on that 1.5-mile road course up in Connecticut at the end of April, 2 weeks from now. They'll actually be joined with the IROC Series for that race weekend as well. And that's also the same race weekend. Chick-fil-A Cup Series heads to Talladega. So we're going to be off next week for Easter. And then we'll be back to racing 2 weeks from now with the Haas IndyCar Series, the IROC Series, and then the Cup Series at Talladega. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Dion Moon, and here are the championship standings after 5 races in the 2019 Haas IndyCar Series. On behalf of Carter Friesen, I will see you guys later.